Life often feels like a series of endless pursuits, goals, improvements, betterment. Yet, Lao Tzu's wisdom reminds us, those who stand on tiptoes do not stand firmly. Those who rush ahead don't get very far. We strive, we push, but in the end, we're left exhausted and unsatisfied. Why is it that all our efforts to improve life seem to take us further away from what we truly seek? Taoism offers a different approach to life. Instead of fighting against the current, it encourages us to flow with it. The Tao, the ineffable force that moves through all things, is beyond human understanding. It is the natural way, the source of balance and harmony. But in our eagerness to control and improve, we often create more suffering. Human beings have a tendency to impose rules, ethics, and structures on the world, believing that these constructs will lead to progress. But what if all these man-made ideas are distancing us from the natural way of life? The Taoists suggest that our efforts to fix things, to impose order, may be counterproductive. They are like swimming upstream, tiring and futile. The Tao teaches us that behind the chaos of the universe lies a greater force. This force cannot be named, it cannot be fully understood, yet it governs all of life. It's the Tao, the ultimate reality. The irony is, while we try so hard to grasp the meaning of life, we lose sight of the Tao. Lao Tzu famously wrote, 5 colors blind the eye, 5 notes deafen the ear, 5 flavors dull the taste. In trying to break life down into understandable pieces, we miss its full, rich complexity. We build systems and categories, but in doing so, we limit our perception of what life truly is. The same is true when we try to control our surroundings. We create rules to live by, hoping that they will bring stability. But the world is constantly changing. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. And by clinging to rigid structures, we only limit ourselves. The Taoists knew that life is fluid, and that the best way to navigate it is to move with it, not against it. Now, let's talk about trying. We've all heard the saying, don't try, just do. This is the essence of Wu Wei, a Taoist principle that means non-doing or effortless action. It's about acting in harmony with the natural flow of life, without force or struggle. In our modern society, doing nothing is often seen as laziness or a waste of time. But according to Taoism, there's great wisdom in stillness. Sometimes, the best action is inaction. When we stop trying so hard to make things happen, they often fall into place on their own. Think about how many times you've exhausted yourself trying to solve a problem, only to find that it resolves itself when you step back. By constantly trying to improve, to fix, to control, we distance ourselves from the natural course of life. Instead of flowing with the current, we create resistance, and that resistance only makes things harder. So why do we do this? Why do we fight against the flow? It comes down to how we value things. We are taught to seek wealth, fame, status, and happiness. We are conditioned to believe that life should be a constant upward climb towards success. We are averse to poverty and loneliness, and we strive to avoid these states at all costs. But the Taoists understood that opposites define each other. You cannot have wealth without poverty, fame without obscurity, or connection without loneliness. Trying to separate them is unnatural and exhausting. Alan Watts, a renowned scholar of Taoism, once pointed out that those who try hardest to save the world often cause the most harm. Their intentions are noble, but by trying to impose their ideas of what's right and wrong, they disrupt the natural flow of things. A classic example is communism. It began as a movement to create equality and fairness, but in its implementation, it became a source of violence and oppression. Lao Tzu wisely warned, "Do you want to rule the world and control it? I don't think it can ever be done. Every time we try to control life, we end up making things worse." This leads us to another point, our obsession with happiness. We believe that happiness lies in achieving certain milestones, money, recognition, success. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, when I finish that project, when I hit 100,000 subscribers. But as Taoism teaches, this pursuit of happiness is exactly why we never find it. Happiness doesn't come from chasing external rewards. It comes from aligning ourselves with the flow of life, from being content with what is. In the Zhuangzi, we find a story that illustrates this truth. Animals in the wind envy each other's abilities. The centipede envies the snake for its ability to move without legs. The snake, in turn, envies the wind for its freedom to travel without a body. But the wind responds by saying that it can be easily stopped by the lightest touch. Each creature has its own unique strengths and weaknesses, and none is better than the other. The message is clear: trying to be something you're not is a waste of energy. Instead of striving to fit into society's ideals, we should accept ourselves as we are. So, how can we apply these Taoist teachings in our lives? First, we need to stop trying so hard. Stop striving to be better, smarter, richer, or more successful. Instead, embrace the middle path. The Zhuangzi teaches us to follow the middle, go by what is constant, and you can stay in one piece. This means staying centered, not stretching ourselves beyond our limits. By doing so, we conserve our energy, maintain our health, and live in harmony with our true nature. The Tao is constant, ever-present, and ever-changing. The one who seeks the Tao doesn't add more knowledge or chase more goals. Instead, they let go. Lao Tzu said, "The Taoist unlearns something new every day." By releasing our need to control, our need to know, and our need to be something other than what we are, we open ourselves up to the Tao. This process of letting go is what the Taoists call the fasting of the heart. When we stop filling ourselves with desires, ambitions, and expectations, we create space for the Tao to enter. And in this space, we find true contentment. In this stillness, we discover that everything we've been seeking outside of ourselves already exists within us. When we stop trying, when we let go of the need to control, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. And in doing so, we find that everything falls into place. The Tao teaches us that by doing less, nothing is left undone. Thank you for watching.